next gen full dive RPG is even shittier than real life episode 12. I will be watching it from Funimation's website, and I'll be starting my reaction in 1-0, go! Kadokawa. Yo, Kadokawa really dominates Wednesdays when it comes to anime because they fund this and they also fund Super Cub when it comes to the anime. Oh, snap! I mean, thankfully, at the very least, Misorisa's still alive. And that evil's. Oh boy. Yeah, considering that Tesla is a lot more higher leveled than Hero's only other option is. Wait, what? Okay, that'd be overkill if people want to unleash his full abilities against someone that could even take on a regular goblin. But you know what? There's a chance that Alicia might be able to actually block that. I mean, maybe she's raised up her stats a lot, or Hero could utilize the super speed skill that he utilized earlier when he rescued the girl from the goblin. I love how he said this. Oh, I thought she was gonna maybe block. I didn't think she was actually gonna take the blade. Yo, I wasn't expecting that bit of character development from Alicia. I thought she was gonna block it. Not take the head first. I mean, at least that confirms that she still has feelings of love for Hero then. Oh. I do like how Hero's child. Oh, that's awfully sweet there. Even though, yes, Alicia is an NPC, the AI is still advanced enough for her to still be able to have a really detailed personality. Aww. Yo, no fucking way. I mean, his only hope is for him to trigger some kind of power up that characters are getting in a fantasy game when their loved one dies. That's the only way I can see him getting out of this situation alive. I'm assuming they never come back to life in the game. Yeah, I mean, does follow realism. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm thinking now he has unleashed a new side to Hero. Oh, okay, Tesla, he's making the loser flags on himself even bigger by talking shit about Alicia. The thing is that he cared about the NPC. And even regardless, the NPC doesn't know all this, and it still risks its life to protect Hero. Whoa! Wait, did he unleash that skill that he utilized against the goblin? Yeah, it looks like he did. And that's what I like. If you're utilizing that skill, it doesn't feel like an asshole because they established it earlier when he rescued that girl. Wait, but there he looked like he just looked like he blocked it straight up with the sword. I thought it was something that he planned for. Oh, I thought for a second it was something brilliant that he pulled. Oh. I wonder what it means by that. Hmm. Oh man, I love how Kamui not only insults the world, he also insults her main boy, and he also pretty much a shonen power up. Adrenaline. Could it be adrenaline? Oh wait, is he gonna actually take off his mask in one of the walkthroughs? I mean, I already know what he looks like without it, but I was kind of hoping to be something more than that when it comes to explanations as to Hero having a chance against Tesla. Because even though yes, you have intense emotions, that ain't gonna really help you out in a fight in real life. I'm just saying, I feel like, don't get me wrong, the scene is fucking cool. I ain't gonna lie. I like how now Reina's feeling like the same effect that Hero felt a while back. Yo, with this, I wonder if Hero's gonna now be capable of actually beating the game at this rate. Yeah, our boy needs higher standards. Yeah, Reina has a shitty personality. At least he acknowledges that. Yo, he made Tesla as a bitch. Whoa. Yeah, get wrecked, oh bitch. Oh, I thought it actually had effect. No, seriously, I thought it was gonna actually. Fuck! Okay, I was not expecting that. I mean, hey. I mean, he was told to sharpen up of the blade. I'm just saying, he was warned. I mean, maybe Mitsurissa's gonna wake up and lop out Tesla's head off. That's gonna be my guess. Because even if Alicia's dead, Mitsurissa's only knocked out. Maybe she's gonna wake up from being unconscious. Okay, now it looks like he's gonna have anything like. Oh, I thought for a second he was transported into like the heaven realm of the series and he permanently died. So I'm assuming his console's gonna break? Ah. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with the series finale where a character actually ends up losing a game. Oh. I wonder what Marty means by that. He's gonna give some kind of like second. Wait, how does that work? A new game? I mean, it sounds like what, a reset? But he lost though. Isn't it established the console's gonna break if he dies in the game? Unless he was like a near-death state and that's why he's seeing Martin right now. Oh. Okay, this is actually a lot more. Oh! Yo, it broke Tesla's blade! As if it was a flaming hot knife cutting through butter! Huh. I like the haunting ghost noises as he was just is holding the blade. Hell, it feels like the type of blade that an antagonist would use in the series with the way that thing looks like. This fucker's saying that after he was about to land on blow before his sword broke a bit earlier? Quite the audacity from Tesla to be saying that. But hey, you know what? It's only gonna make it funner once this motherfucker's taken down. Yo, I love that sarcastic self-confidence. Oh, damn! Sure, he's been through constant life and death scenarios. In the game role, at the very least. Wait, don't tell me it's gonna pan away from the back. Ah. Fuck! But hey, you can't win them all. I like the way she winks. Oh, okay. How was he tortured? You know what? No, I don't want to see the torturing. Fuck that. Damn! Why would you? Okay. Yeah, and plus, if you were to get a console, he definitely wouldn't buy it from Reina. Shouldn't buy it from her. I don't know if you should be taking that offer. Good. I mean, it's a lot to take in. Huh. I mean, it makes sense. It's kind of like one of those old games. Aww. Oh! It's like one of those old games where if you lose, you're gonna have to start over. I love how... Oh, that's kind of a dick move from Kamui there. But yeah, he's still using the man's advice though. Well, at this point, yeah, Hero should be called a masochist. But you know what? He's got tenacity. That's one of his lovable traits. Huh. Wait, different technique? Oh boy. Now, that sounds fucking juicy as hell. If you ask me, anyway. And just the way that Kamui almost always delivers his lines, too. It always makes it a joy every single time he opens his mouth. I don't know. Just like his cocky as shit attitude, it's just fucking addicting, you know? And plus, it makes it even more addicting to watch, just given the fact of that this man is like a success story in the series, yet in the game world, we don't see him as composed as he is when it shows him in his real life. So that's so really, at least for me, what makes everything involving Kamui so damn fucking good to watch, if you ask me. At least in my personal opinion. I actually would be curious to hear any of your thoughts on how you feel about Kamui whenever he does shit talk hero. Well, I guess he's I guess if I'm going by technicalities, he's not technically shit talking hero because it ain't like hero is, say, talking to the actual Kamui. But y'all know what I mean when I say that. Y'all know what I definitely mean. But yeah, you know what? That's something I'm actually liking about this series too overall, though. How it doesn't just take showing routes of, oh yes, high stakes and character just almost always automatically wins, because don't get me wrong, I don't mind it when a main character I like wins, but at the same time though, I do love the gutsiness that at the very least this series shows off sometimes when you see Hero actually go through major losses. Because that's a part of life. You're just not going to be able to bend things perfectly towards your own win in every single scenario. And I do like the commentary from Hero's sister, I ain't gonna lie. Oh. But yeah, eventually, I wonder if God is going to say something nice. Oh, that's sweet. The thing is, though, Kari doesn't want to be so obvious that she cares about her brother a lot, because she's probably still peeved by that time her brother spoke roughly towards her years ago, but she's still showing off that she does care about with the small signs. Yeah, at the very least, we do see how Hero's life is improving a bit at the very least. How it's showing you that the game he's played, it wasn't just for fun. Its realism is actually allowing him to become a better person overall. And that's something I actually really like about this. Oh, the bullies! I would love to see him knock out these two bullies, or at least try to fight back. I do like how, even though, yes, Hiro didn't die in that instance, he felt what it was like to suffer through immense loss, regardless. Yo! Does he know who's saying that in front of him? Whoa! The thing is, those boys are gonna misinterpret it. Hey, at least it shows you that those boys are freaking. Hey, even though he didn't do it on purpose, he actually stood up for himself. That's progress, actually. Okay, fine. The series is actually doing something I would have loved to have seen. Hiro actually tackling some of his problems that he's got in real life. And I love that. Finally showing you that the game, yes, it may have fun with it, but it also is helping him become a better person too, though. Considering its realism. And I love that. Because that was... What the... Kamui? I mean, he ain't wrong. Can't wait to see what he's going to do with the restart, though. Yeah, that actually says a lot about Kamui. He must have lost a few times himself, too. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. That means that, yes, he lost a few times. Because he wouldn't have turned away like that. Whoa! Oh! I gotta admit, though, that was one of the best pillows to be waking up alongside, though. How does he not know what a bebop is, dude? I gotta admit, though, his naivety is kind of adorable sometimes, I ain't gonna lie. I just hope there's a season 2 announcement because, don't get me wrong, I like the series overall. Whoa! Okay, that's actually nice that he actually went as far as doing fight simulation. I wish we would have seen that on screen, though. You know? Whoa, okay. I wonder if that's going to be the title for a season 2, if it ever gets one that's even realer than real life, because that would be a hard-hitting title. Overall, I like the series. Hell, even like the fact that for the season finale, at the very least, and they even had him tackling some of the problems that he was dealing with, like those bullies. I was even wondering too, when you have like Reina take care of everything for Hiro in the episode where he was getting the train, I was like, don't get me wrong, it was nice seeing Reina do stuff for him. But here's the thing about that, though. Watching the episode, I was like, how is that going to relate to Hiro taking care of his problems, like dealing with the bullies that tormented him in the first episode of the series? Thankfully, though, at the very least, this episode had finally given him an opportunity to deal with those issues in the season finale. And that's why I thought the final episode was so damn good. Then, aside from that, something else that the episode did really damn well, I do love the fact that not everything that Hiro did throughout the series is going to be wasted, because since if he does a reset, it's only going to be an hour back. At the very least, they'll give Hiro a chance, well, at least a higher chance of victory at the very least. Even love how they have one of the major themes from the episode sounding when you see our boy gaining some hope, too. Now, and saying that, there were also other elements that I loved about this episode, too, though. Even though, yes, our bull may have lost, and yes, it does feel like a little bit of the consequences were killed off, that he can come back, and after, before he lost, at the very least, he still has to get a new game console. So, at the very least, there were positive consequences, well, negative consequences to what went down. And another thing I do love is, at least it mentioned that I did train himself for when he faces Tesla again with fighting simulations. So that was another cool thing about the episode too. Even love how it showed you that Hiro is going to do track again, and also, well, not track again, but at least a jog to get the athleticism up, showing us that he's learned that everything that you can do in real life, you can do in the game too. I love how he's going to be taking advantage of that. The only issue I have is it feels like there's only going to be payoff if this series gets to season 2. Because unless it can snag that, then a lot of the payoff is going to be non-existent. But, save for that though, I will give credit where credit's due in the series, and at least it's trying to build towards something. Now, save for that, it also did well from a character standpoint, because even though, yes, it didn't really give much depth to Reina, because let's just be real. Her being like, yes, you're so close to being the kid, I want to marry you. I'm like, Reina's got about as much depth as a board. But they at least give a lot more depth. Oh, hello, Todd Stone. They at least give a lot more depth towards, at the very least, Alicia, seeing how much she went out back for Hiro. And I even love how Hiro apologizing to Martin had positive consequences, because Alicia actually was willing to give up her life to protect Hiro. So that was substantial character development. And I even love how the series raises some interesting questions too, because it raises the question of, even though, yes, while AI may not necessarily be humans, how much value can AI really have? I love how it sort of in a subtle way tackles those type of interesting questions, and also the ethics of how AI might be treated, even if they're just, some of them can just be electronic data. So there were a lot of elements I could take from this series that were really damn positive. And that's what I love about this episode, seeing Hiro care about the NPCs in the series, in comparison to how in the first few episodes he didn't give much of a care in the world. And now, at least in the season finale, he cares a lot. And that's why I absolutely adored this episode. We're seeing his character become full circle. That's why I thought it is substantial from a character standpoint. Hell, even seeing him going as far as picking up the hobbies that he used to love, like running, was put such a bundle of joy in my heart, because it's like, man, this is so nice seeing him build himself like this. Now, in saying that, yeah, there were some issues from a production standpoint. You can definitely tell the people in charge of producing the series were struggling visually because even though yes they made the joke of oh they're going so fast that you can't see the action going on, I would have still liked to have seen the action choreography because a lot of animes when you have bystanders looking at a fight that's too quick to see, they'll still show cuts of that super quick fight. I think the way the series handled it visually could have been done better. I would have loved to have seen some nice clean choreography because some of the earlier fights in the series did have clear cut choreography. Like there should be no way that a low stakes fight like Alicia versus Misarisa should have better visuals than the season finale fight of Tesla versus Hiro. So there were some downsides from a production standpoint visually that I can't ignore. Still liked the episode a lot though. And if I had to rate the season finale on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm definitely going to be giving it an 8 out of 10 because it was pretty damn good. It's just that for a season finale, oh, thank you very much, Tatsun. It's just that for a season finale, I expected more. You know? Because season finale is when you're supposed to show out. You're not supposed to show out when it's a minor fight. Some of your best animations. And it ain't just this series doing it. Other anime this season for some reason did it too. For some reason, animes have a habit of blowing their loads either in the first few episodes or the middle portions of the episodes, yet having nothing left for the finale. I don't know why a lot of anime companies do that, but they just freaking do. And it's a habit that I wish freaking died. Sadly, it hasn't died. And I've kept up with all the non-sequel, non-seasonals for 5 seasons straight. So I can say from experience that no, that habit is alive and doing well, unfortunately. But in saying that, at least the series didn't look like the worst looking anime of the season. So I guess there's that. And to its credit, at least the artwork was good, even though, yes, there wasn't as much fidelity in like the frames per second. At least the artwork looked nice. Now, from a sound standpoint, it did great. Actually, loved how they used its ED in the episode when Hiro was getting more hope in beating the game. That was actually a nice touch. I love that. The voice performances were also really damn great too. You can definitely tell everyone involved in the sound department, they are at their top of the game. And that's why I thought the episode was just absolutely well done in certain instances. Now, yes, aside from all these elements, I honestly didn't really have any other issue with the episode at all. And if I had to be perfectly honest about anything else about the series, because I'm going to give the final episode an 8 out of 10. Now, with the final series, this is where, not the final series, for the series overall, this is where it actually gets tough to rate it for a variety of reasons, because it's like, I had fun, but the thing is, though, my brain's like Anime Caveman. You can't just give this series a super high-ass rating just because you had fun. Because there are a lot of exceptionally done anime this season, so it wouldn't be fair to those animes that were actually consistent from start to finish to give it a higher rating. So if I had to rate this series on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, and 10 being exceptional, here's what I'm going to do. I'm a video game fan, so if I had to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. But here's the kicker. For anyone that isn't a video game fan, you can knock it down to a 6.5 out of 10 because you're all not going to get as much enjoyment as I will. But for me, 7 out of 10 is still above average. Now here's why I'm limiting it as a 7 out of 10 though. Aside from the series lacking a finality kind of vibe, there were some issues I had with it. Like, for example, while it was cute to get to see Reina help out Hiro when he was in the training camp, it kind of was a little bit distressing because I would have loved to have seen Hiro actually tackle some more issues in the game world himself. Because at least if he'd have done that, I'd be like, man, he's becoming his own man. In the series, I felt like there was too much hand holding towards them in the series sometimes. And then when they were taking on the goblins, I would have loved to have seen Hero at least stack up enough to kill a goblin. Since, let's just look at the power scaling. We're gonna go from Hero not being able to tackle on goblins. So I'm assuming if it comes back for a season 2, he's gonna be able to beat Tesla. Now, yes, the series did establish he trained for a month, but that training happened off screen. A lot of animes, when they have a character do substantial training, they spend an episode, sometimes even 2, to see him build up the trick. Hell, Kimetsu no Yaiba had Itanjiro train for 2 to 3 episodes before he became a demon slayer. In Backflip, you had characters like Futaba train a full episode before they become proficient at gymnastics. Like, part of the fun in anime is seeing the journey of a character becoming badass through training, and that's hard. It's going to be hard to feel that connection when it feels like Hero got gift-wrapped strength. That's why there were certain things in the final episode that I gotta question. Now, in saying that, though, there were also other things too in this series where it it makes me take pause a little bit. And let me explain what they are. Now, what about Kathy? She was given build-up, and now she's gone as if she was nothing. What happened to that? I would have loved to have seen something regarding that. But the series, I guess, pretends that she doesn't exist anymore, I guess. And then, speaking of which, there's another thing about this series sometimes that kind of irks me a little bit too, but it felt like they didn't do much with Kaede at all. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand that they used her to have Hero go toward beat his trauma of being nervous towards pressure. I understand that. But considering the placement of her, I gotta be like, I think she deserved more than to be. She deserves more than just to be a simple plot device. That's why I took issue with some of the things the series did overall. I'm saying that I enjoyed it, but I'm not gonna say that the series was exceptional. You know what? And saying all that, I'm gonna still stick with my personal score of a 7. But for everyone else that isn't a video game fan, I'm gonna drop my score to a 6 out of 10, which is still above average. But now that I really break it down, no, the series actually has a few more flaws that could be fixed if they were to get a season 2. But that's a big if, though. Because if the series doesn't get a season 2, then it's gonna feel like this is more of a half a series instead of a full series. And that's the issue. But, in saying that, I had fun. And if they were to get a season 2, I would definitely react to it. That's a big if, though. But yeah, these are my thoughts on this series, though. Despite its downsides, it had positives. I love how Hero tackled all his problems with the bullies. Well, yes, I would have loved to have seen him actually do that on purpose and not through a low accident moment. It's still better than nothing. And at least you're seeing him tackle on positive hobbies like running again. So there are a lot of positive sides to the season finale. And even though the final episode did botch it up from an animation standpoint, at least the previous episodes had some nice highlights of animation here and there. I think that's pretty respectable if you ask me. And that's why if I had to rate the series overall, I'm going to stick with the 7 personally. But again, a 6 for anyone else that isn't a video game fan. Because if anyone isn't a video game fan, yeah, it's going to be a lot harder to relate to the humor. For me, I can relate to the humor because I played my fair share of RPGs. And then I played my fair share of retro games where if you lose, you have to start over. That's why I feel like the series didn't really peeve me as much as did other people, but if it did peeve other people, I wouldn't blame them for being peeved. I'd be like, I understand your anger, if you're angry towards the series. But hey, that's just me. But anyways, y'all, these are my thoughts on the episode and the series in general. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how I feel about my reaction or the episode itself in the comment section below. Hope y'all rate the video, share, comment, subscribe. And I'd like to say thank you very much for Todd Stone for commenting on the live chat and for everyone else. Thank you very much for watching my video. Hope y'all have a fun, great, safe, and fantastic day, and I'll see y'all later if you come back for more. Bye-bye, everybody.